we're diving into something I know a lot of us have been waiting for. It's the final episode of Tana and Brooke's podcast. And yes, it was 3 hours long. I sat through the whole thing. It was emotional. It was funny. It was classic Brooke and Tana. So let's dig up the receipts and get into it. To start out, a big question over the weekend was, where is the final canceled episode? Because it's been about 4 weeks since we've had an episode. And if you are an avid watcher of the canceled podcast, then you know they often drop an episode at least once a week, if not every 10 days. So people were starting to be like, wait a second, 4 weeks is a little long here. Another part to all of this is Brooke had her engagement party over the weekend, and one person who was not in attendance was Tana. So that was another reason people started questioning, like, wait a second, are they really not friends anymore? Are we not getting this episode? Was the last episode that dropped 4 weeks ago the final one? So of course, TikToks were being made, people were speculating, and then Brooke ended up responding to Spill Sesh's TikTok, and she said that it was being dropped that same day. So that being said, the episode wasn't just a wrap-up, it was a full-on deep dive into their friendship, the behind-the-scenes drama, things we've never heard before, even some of the biggest regrets over the years. We hear about the Mindy drama, Matt Rife, even Jake Paul. One of my biggest takeaways is that their friendship has completely shifted since announcing the podcast was ending, but in a good way. Brooke actually revealed that she bought a house super close to Tana's, and both of them said it feels like their friendship is going back to how it used to be, before the podcast, before all the mess. It sounds like ending the podcast might have saved their friendship, even though there are definitely the people on the internet that say otherwise.
It's almost, it didn't even have to truly end for us to like feel the relief of it, I almost feel like.
And like we're calling each other and we're having these like 5-hour calls and you're touring houses and we're going together and we're skipping around and we're like, I don't know how to explain that, just all of the strife and everything. Like it's like it almost like didn't fucking happen. And it like we were right. We knew that like having this baby together and trying to agree was like what was hard and putting a strain. And now it's like I just finally like see without the cloud. You know what I mean? Like just the immense gratitude that I have for you and for this era and for this time in our lives and this podcast. And like I didn't, for a minute there, I didn't know that I would feel this way. And I'm just like so fucking excited for our friendship and our future. And like
me too, I've been having so much fun.
And it's like so cool because I don't know if there were versions of us that like could see this, you know what I mean? Like this time and of our lives and this like chapter. And it's just like very wild to me. I don't know.
The girls did bring up how when Brooke's tweets resurfaced, things were not okay between them and that the internet was actually right in their speculation.
I think this was post tweets and like just really like we were really fighting. And there was conversations of you and I, of continuing canceled, but you and I having a mediator to speak in between us. Like if I had something to say, I would tell the mediator and then the mediator would tell you. And if you had something to say, you would tell the mediator and they would tell me.
What are you talking about? I've never heard that before in my life. Was that your idea?
No. Like it was, but it just like, it was the only
like
thing
for the episodes or for
just for everything, because every time we would have a conversation about business, it would be a blowout.
Oh,
or like,
yeah, big summer blowout. Yeah, I get that. Like in just conversations in life, I thought you meant like on the episodes. I'm like, that wouldn't have been anything.
No, imagine they're just in the room. No, like if we had to plan a shoot or anything like.
No, and that time period too was very obvious, I think, to the public also. I think like that was one of the times where I'm like, everyone was pretty much right about like what was going on.
100%.
It was dark.
The girls talk about how they always wanted to end the podcast when it felt right and preferably while they were on a high note. They mentioned that they didn't want to end up like a certain podcast that they get compared to a lot, which is, of course, Call Her Daddy, if you remember that drama. I think it's safe to say Brooke was a little more hesitant with this decision, but as time has gone on, they feel it was definitely the right call.
And I am so happy. No matter how we felt, we still like we fought for this, and we even in our like low points, we fought to like walk off into the sunset. And I think there are many times where you and I were sitting in meetings or talking about walking off into the sunset, and we weren't feeling walk off into the sunset-y. It was like this thing that we were manifesting, but that's not how we felt in that moment. And to be like, holy fuck, like we fought for that. We fought for that walk off into the sunset. And like now we're here and we are.
Yeah, I think the timing is right. Like, I mean, it's never going to feel 100% right. Like, that's just how like things like that work. But I feel like there's never been a better time than now.
Obviously, you and I also worked so well on Canceled and how we were, because you and I can be both very outspoken and volatile and all of the things, but we never turned on each other. And we never, you know what I mean? Like, I think that a lot of people thought that it would be I don't want to compare it to anyone else's situations.
They still do, yeah.
Yeah, but like thought it would be that, and we fought so hard for it to not be that, and like we won.
Another area they spoke about was the BB drama, or I probably should say didn't talk about, because Brooke moved on from the topic very quickly.
Bringing BB on tour. Sorry. Next.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to speak on. Well, it's on some Team Bryce shit. It's not my beef. You know what I mean?
It's not my beef either. I don't even know what it's about.
I saw someone the other day fucking make a TikTok and they're like, all of Tana's friends are so this, that, and the other. And it's like, I'm making fucking blueberry muffins at home with Ashley, Amari, and Isabella, who like I have fucking been with since birth, you know, who like just, I don't know. Like, it's so funny. I get dragged so into these things that genuinely do not, like, I'm no part of this. And
I'm no part of that either.
Yeah, and you also, I'm very proud of you because I know your brain, and I think that you're taking the high road by not taking this to social media.
Well, here we are. Anyway, Georgegate.
Tana talked about how throughout the podcast she became sober. She actually just celebrated 1 year sober. She posted to Instagram a couple days ago.
Coming into sobriety across a weekly podcast is nuts. Mm-hmm.
It was trial and error. It's kind of cool. Like, it's not cool, of course, but like,
no, it is.
You know, we saw your first and second and third try.
Yes. And the falling and getting back up.
Of course, another area of friend drama is the Ashley of it all. Tana talks about what she regrets about the situation, and they even bring up the Guess Who game.
I agree with that. Whereas Ashley's, I think I fucked up so horribly. And I don't know if I've ever said that.
You haven't.
And I know that
we should.
You guys have maybe is irreparable a word?
Irreparable.
But isn't irreparable, doesn't that mean something else?
Mm-mm. Like, we've done irreparable damage.
Okay, you're right. You and Ashley may have an irreparable dynamic. You know, like you guys may never be friends.
I think she put it better than that. I think it's like, it's not like irreparable because it's like not something that was like broken that needed to be repaired. We just like literally were never close. It's up in the air why she blocked me, but that doesn't matter. Also, I want to go on record and say that photo that she used of me in the Guess Who game is hilarious, and I loved it.
And there were lots of other also hilarious photos. I'm not
even being funny. Like, I saw it and I was like, wait, that's hilarious. And I would have done it if full transparency, if the roles were reversed, she would have had a bigger head than that.
I love that everyone can kind of just laugh at that, and it wasn't that big of a deal. Her and I are going to play it at some point, and like I want to show that like 90 other people have just silly photos that she used from their Instagrams, and it wasn't like this insane direct attack. That's not my beef though. You know, that's not my shit to whatever. But anyways, whether you guys have an irreparable relationship or not, I think that I was drunk. I think that I left out a lot of details of that story that makes it so much different than it came across. And then it ended up doing a lot of damage to her career and character that I regret. You know what I mean? Because the same thing as the original Mindy video with you, like we were able to kind of reconcile and like do damage control of that. And people's takeaway wasn't like, oh, Brooke is a horrible person for doing that to Tana or like whatever, you know what I mean? And I don't know how to like put it into words other than like that was just like me really misusing the platform. Like I was getting out feelings that I had. And that's what I did on Canceled every week. But I heavily regret putting that out there because I think that like I was drunk and there was so much more to say. And like just that I love her so much. And just like you, like we ended up making up and coming back together. Like that's my fucking sister. And she does love me so much.
It's crazy to see how much these girls have grown over the 4 years. And the ending had me tear up a little, that's for sure. Tana's now with Makoa, living her best life. She's in Hawaii. Brooke is in her bride era. She just got a new house with Miles. Tana and Brooke are actually living near each other. They say their friendship is thriving, which is amazing. All in all, it sounds like they made the right decision, and who knows, maybe they will come back together one day for a little Canceled reunion. Who knows? one can hope.
You know what? My final takeaway is that this has been the greatest, most wild, biggest learning experience, trauma bond, but I mean that with the best, in the best way, of my entire life. And I am so excited for the future. And I love you so fucking much.
I love you. And I love you. Except for those on the Canceled Pod subreddit.
Should we do it? For the last, right?
Yes, since I look so gorgeous.
Thank you guys. Till the end, baby. Thank you guys for listening to the last. Thank you for listening to the final episode of the Canceled Podcast.
Let me know what you think in the comments about this one. Let me know if you watched the whole podcast, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.